by miracle of sound. Alright, and welcome back to the Shardbreaker podcast. This is episode 5 of Alloy of Law, the first book in the Mistborn Era 2. I am Midnight, your host, and I am here with Darkness.
Hello.
And Mythic.
Oh, hi, sorry.
And yeah, we read chapters 14 through 18, which is not what I had said at the end of last episode, but I have recently revised the way that I do episodes to do it based on word count instead of chapter count, or
We were
page
right,
count,
but
I
she
mean.
was wrong. All good.
Yes, because I realized that the books are not consistent in word count per page throughout the books, and that's why we were having such short episodes. So that is revised for going forward. So hopefully the episodes will be back to their normal hour and a half length after editing. So yeah, let's get right into chapter 14, where we start with Wax's point of view as he's knocking on the door of a brick townhouse in Ellendale with Wayne and Marassi. A woman opens the door, glances at Wax and Wayne before slamming the door shut. Wax and Wayne step off to the side of the door and pull Marassi to the side with them. The woman soon opens the door a moment again later with a shotgun, telling them that she'll count to 10. Wax tries to reason with Renette for a moment, but she begins counting faster, so the three hurry down off the porch and onto the sidewalk. The door is then slammed shut again. Marassi asks if Renette would really shoot them, and Wax replies that she rarely shoots anyone besides Wayne, whom she has shot 3 times before, as says Wayne, but Wax reminds him that she also shot him in the foot 1 time, so technically 4 times. After a moment, Renette opens the door again with the shotgun over her shoulder, asking why they haven't left yet. Wax calls out to her that innocent lives are at risk and they need her help. Renette aims her shotgun at them again, and Wayne jokes that her gun won't do much at this distance, but Wax tells him to be more helpful, so Wayne offers Renette the aluminum gun he had given Wax. Wax reluctantly gets it out, and Renette, being a lurcher, can tell it's aluminum as it wouldn't work with her iron sight. She calls out that they should have said they brought a bribe as she slings her gun over her shoulder. So what do you think about Wayne offering the aluminum gun to get Renette to work with them?
I just thought it was funny. That's what's considered a bribe.
It's funny because the way her character is depicted is exactly how I thought she would be.
Mhm.
I love Renette. Renette's great.
I was so happy that she's literally exactly how I thought she would be. And I literally, at last podcast, I wanted to say so bad she's going to pull out with a shotgun, but I wasn't sure they had shotguns yet, so.
Yup. Pulls out with a shotgun.
Get off me lawn.
Get off my porch. So we switch to Marassi's point of view as she stays quiet, although she's not fond of how Renette referred to her as an ornament. She notices that Renette is able to lock her door without touching it, as well as open some of the doors inside the house. She quickly realizes she's an allomancer and able to open and close doors by pulling on them with her allomancy. They head into a workshop room, and Marassi carefully steps around electrical cables as she had heard of people being burned like they were struck by lightning from electrical devices. Wax asks how Renette likes the city, and she replies that she feels safer in the roughs, but the roughs don't have electricity. She pulls on various tools from the wall so they fly at her from across the room. Marassi is almost hit by one of them, and she thinks about how nice it must be to have a useful allomantic ability. So what do you think about how Renette's house is set up so she could do so many things with her allomancy?
Honestly, that's exactly what I would do.
Right? I'm like, this is exactly what I would do if I was a lurcher. Just everything has a little bit of metal so I can just pull it to me.
Right. Including the people.
I need the refrigerator open. Whoop. Well, I need a beer. Whoop.
Yep, exactly.
I'm just waiting for them to learn how to pull the iron in somebody's blood.
That's a little Magneto moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's what the Lord Ruler pretty much does to Vin, or he pulls on the metals in her stomach that she had swallowed.
Yeah. They didn't pull on the blood, though.
Yeah. So Wax then mentions needing more guns from Renette, who is not happy about it, as Wax thinks his butler likely threw some of his guns into a canal or got rid of them another way. He then lost his other guns from her fighting Miles. Renette is shocked to hear Wax was fighting Miles, and Wayne tells Renette that Miles seems to want to overthrow the city. Marassi also notes that Wayne seems to be trying to rile up Renette and has been slowly moving closer to her. Renette insists that she won't be giving Wax a new gun as she glares at Wayne, who is now standing over her shoulder. Marassi asks Wax if there is something between Wayne and Renette, but Wax says Wayne only wishes, and that he is sure Renette is not interested in Wayne, and thinks she is likely uninterested in men in general. Wax mentions that he half thinks that Wayne is only here investigating the Vanishers, so that he could come see Renette at some point. Wax also mentions that he's trying to think of a plan, but is also hoping that if they stay long enough, Renette will give him a new gun. So, yeah, what do you think about the type of girl that Wayne's interested in?
I mean, hey, it checks all his boxes, and there's only one. They can kill him.
They can beat him up.
Yup. Also, do you think Renette is a lesbian, or do you think that she's just really done with people in general, and that's why she doesn't seem interested in men?
It's funny because I really wanted to say
I
that
really
straight off
want.
the
I
bat,
really want it to
but
be a lesbian. Really do.
yeah,
Give us some
I want him to be,
LGBT
but I don't have
goddamn.
my hopes up. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know he's not very, with the LGBT
I will
times.
say these books were put out later on. Like these are some closer to some of his newer books and other ones we've read. So it is closer to when he starts putting a bit more LGBT stuff into his books.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're just trying to get our hopes up. I understand.
maybe we'll see. Doesn't seem like Renette's gonna die
It
this
won't work.
book, at least from what we've seen so far, because she's not in on the action. So we'll see more of her.
Oh, great! I didn't even think of that.
I did. I always think about people dying.
I don't know if that's healthy.
You're right. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting on my death pool on the three of us. Honestly.
Mm.
Oh, who will die first?
I mean, I'm just gonna fall into that pool in Elantris and then not actually die. I'm just gonna go into Shadesmar.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait, doesn't everybody die? Everybody that dies go to Shadesmar anyways?
Well, briefly. Oh
Yeah,
no.
so you're going there no matter what.
I'm gonna stay though as a cognitive shadow.
I'm
Like
sure you
Kelsier.
are.
So Waxton mentions that Marassi could stay with Renette while he and Wayne continue the investigation, but Marassi wants to come with them. Waxton says he can't figure out Marassi, as she likely could have been well off just by being given money from her father, but she decided to choose one of the hardest areas of study at university. Marassi just replies that Wax also gave up an easy life. Marassi then states she has spent most of her life being useless and wants to accomplish something. Waxton suggests he has something dangerous for Marassi to do, but he doesn't elaborate further for now. Instead, he starts going through some special bullets that Renette has, which are specified to fighting different types of allomancers. She has rounds to go after coin shots that have ceramic tips so that if a coin shot tries to push them away, the tip of the bullet will still hit them, lurcher rounds that explode when pulled on so that they explode with shrapnel, and tineye rounds that are extra loud and make even more noise upon contact to hurt the tineye's sensitive hearing. Shooter rounds she also has that are just larger and do more damage. Marassi asks if Renette is going to sell them, but Renette says no because she doesn't want people coming to bother her. So what do you think about all the different types of bullets Renette has been making to combat different allomantic abilities?
Quite crazy that she thinks like I do.
You remember when I compared her to Batman last stream?
Wouldn't she be more like Alfred? Isn't Alfred the one who actually makes all the shit for Batman?
No.
No,
No.
Oh,
it's
is he
not.
not? I thought he was the one who made all
No.
this shit.
Alfred's a
He
badass.
helped.
Don't get me wrong. Hey, Alfred's a badass. Don't get me wrong. He's not the one that makes
Oh, okay.
Wayne.
Yeah,
I-
he does help
Wayne,
though. I'm not gonna say
Wayne has Wayne has like billions of dollars and he outsources it.
Oh, does he? I thought he made like I
Mhm.
thought Alfred
Yeah,
made shit for
if
him.
you
No,
watch,
he does make some of his stuff himself.
he makes some of it, but I mean, like,
And
most
Alfred
of it-
also does help with some of his like
Mhm.
equipment and stuff. But he
But Renette
usually
does
just gets
everything
someone to
herself.
make it.
She makes all sorts of cool guns and cool bullets.
I have a feeling that you say that, but I don't actually. I feel like if we looked further in, she probably doesn't make everything herself.
Well, she calls herself a gunsmith because she's in communication with other gunsmiths and stuff.
Yeah, but do you think she made that door, or?
Oh no,
believe
I
she
meant all the
would.
stuff with her guns. She makes herself.
No, I honestly think she does it herself, like all of it.
You think she made that door?
Yeah,
Oh.
like the mechanism, yes, not the door
The
itself.
door. The door.
The door's just a door. It's the mechanism that's special.
I mean, the door's pretty special.
So Renette then enjoys Wax's compliments on her bullets and asks about what Miles is up to. Wax explains how they are kidnapping women to likely try to breed allomancers. Renette tells Wax where to find a special gun she has made that has 8 bullet chambers, 6 normal ones, and 2 special slots that only fire when holding down a specific lever. It also has an allomancer-specific safety so that only an allomancer can fire the gun, which Wax is very impressed by.
Insane.
Renette calls the gun Vindication, after Vin, the Ascended Warrior, which I like.
Hey, somebody who actually follows, a god, not this, these weird gods.
To be fair, I feel like Renette and Vin would get along very well.
I agree.
So Renette then states that the aluminum gun is made by a gunsmith she knows that disappeared about a year ago. Inside is a piece of metal that Renette takes out that is written in High Imperial, a well-regarded dialect that was mainly used in fancy documents from the origin and during fancy ceremonies. It states, "Wasing the wear of needing," which Marassi translates to a cry for help. So what did you think about High Imperial and how it has become such a fancy language where it used to be a street slang?
Love it. I love it. I love the fact that Spook actually did something that affected the rest of the world.
I like how Spook's like, fuck it, I'm in charge. This is now the fanciest language to fuck over everyone who tried to make fun of me for it before. All our official documents will be like this, and everyone will learn it.
Exactly. This is why Spook is the best.
I was, the first time I read this book, I was so fucking dumb. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wait, first off, who's to say that it hasn't always been that, okay?
It definitely has not always been fancy.
It's always been fancy. Every moment, it was just these people and their unculturedness.
High Imperial.
Yeah, didn't respect it.
What did you think, Darkness, about High Imperial?
It was great.
Yeah, y'all just don't respect true art.
Art is an explosion, actually.
You're right, it is. Daedara, I hear you.
So Renette then asks if Wax is sure Miles is involved, and Wax replies that he is, and he had fought him face to face. Wax then asks Wayne to get him some shipping manifests from the railway office, and to keep the dynamite railway.
The wayway, got it.
And to keep the dynamite with him. He asks Marassi to get some strong fishing nets, and he asks Renette for a room and some paper to do his planning. Renette agrees as long as he's quiet. Renette also says Wax is going to need a small army to bring Miles down, and Wax just says that he's planning to do so. And then we get chapter 15, which we switch to Miles' point of view. So we get another Miles point of view. We get a few of them.
Thank God, that man's so much better than everybody else.
Even though he disrespects Kelsier and thinks Trell is better.
Yeah, he's still better than both the other two.
So we switch to Miles' point of view as he speaks.
This whole time, these chapters, he definitely went above and beyond for me.
Yeah, he's a really cool villain. I really like him as a villain.
He's not a villain.
As an antagonist, then. He's an antagonist.
Yeah, that works. But I think Wax and Wayne are the villains. What are you talking about?
You don't think Mr. Suit's a villain?
No. I think Mr. Suit's going to be...
You're on the side of the set?
Yes.
I think we just learn in this chapter is the name of his group.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we switch to Miles' point of view as he speaks
what was it? Didn't we meet Suit in this, though?
No, we met Mr. Suit last episode. We get a Miles point of view.
But we see him again.
Yeah, we see him again
here. But yeah, we meet him briefly in the first Miles POV we get. Because remember, we got a Miles POV last time, and he has like a brief meeting with Mr. Suit.
Yeah, we got more in detail, like.
We get a bit more about him because we find out that the name of his group that he's a part of is the Set. We find out Miles has been like kind of tracking him coming and going from the city and stuff like that. Yeah, so we switch to Miles' point of view as he speaks to Mr. Suit about how Wax is good at not being killed by people more skilled than him. Mr. Suit replies that Miles should not have revealed himself, but Miles says he needs to face Wax while killing him. He does not mention how he first shot Wax from behind while masked. Mr. Suit questions Miles about trying to kill a friend, and Miles thinks that Mr. Suit assumes he let Wax go on purpose. However, Miles thinks that either he or Wax needs to die. Miles insists that he and Wax are not friends, just previous allies. He says he will not disappoint him. Mr. Suit, however, states that the Set do not like Miles and think he'll betray them, although Mr. Suit has been vouching for Miles. As they talk, they are walking through the underground foundry and up onto a second-floor balcony near an elevator. Miles thinks that the Set is part of the upper class that does nothing, but they also want change, so he thinks there's a chance he won't turn against them. So what do you think about Miles being unsure if he's going to turn against the Set or not?
That's valid.
Mm-hmm.
He's using them for the goal, and that's it.
Because yeah, technically it seems like this group of people is like part of the people he hates, and he kind of blames for all the issues in society. He's like,
it reminds me of
change.
Almost every single motherfucker that has a problem with the main character in all of these books, but
Yeah, very classist,
It's a big theme in a lot of Brandon Sanderson's books. Is
apparently.
Classism.
This is very revolutionary.
I wonder.
So Mr. Suit then brings up the job tonight and how the Set doesn't like how easily Miles lost so much expensive aluminum weapons in a single fight. Miles is also upset about this as he wanted the aluminum to help finance his own goals, but because of Wax, he was now without that. Miles just states that his men need to be properly equipped and that he and his men have gotten the Set 5 of the women they wanted without suspicion on them. Two well-dressed men then leave the elevator as the doors open, and Mr. Suit tells Miles that after the job tonight, the Vanishers are to stay underground for 6 months to do recruitment before another list of women will be given to them. They'll also discuss whether the theatrics of the Vanishers is needed at that time. Mr. Suit also asks if Wax will show up tonight, which Miles is sure he will, and Mr. Suit says Wax needs to die tonight then. He suggests using Steris as bait, and that the two well-dressed men will help Miles. Miles doesn't want the help, but Mr. Suit replies that it isn't negotiable. So what do you think about Mr. Suit leaving 2 Allomancers with Miles to help him, but mostly to keep an eye on him?
Eh,
Clearly, there's deep trust involved, you know?
Yeah. Mhm.
Right?
Clearly, Suit trusts this man with his life.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't think that Miles just keeps letting Wax get away.
Hmm.
He's like, I don't think you're incompetent. I just think you're letting him get away.
Probably is, to be honest. Kind of has this little bromance going on with him.
Oh, God.
See, that's what Wax really needs. He doesn't need a wife. He needs Miles.
No, Miles needs him. All right, Wax don't need shit. Wax can eat fucking dirt.
I will
I
say,
mean,
I often feel about this series that Wax, although he's the main character, is definitely not the most interesting person in these books. I'm like, I feel like so many of the other characters are so much more interesting than Wax.
he's alright.
He's like a very average main character, whereas I feel like there's so many characters, not just in this book, but in like throughout this era that are like so cool. And I'm like, in comparison, Wax is just okay.
He's chilling.
He's alright. Miles is so cool. I love Miles.
You would.
Yeah, Miles Morales. Yeah.
So Mr. Suit then tells Miles that the set is anxious and low on funds. He says that there are to be no hostages and the set will take half of the stolen aluminum, and Miles can have the rest for his weapons. Miles asks if the 2 men left with him have fought Allomancers, and Mr. Suit just replies they are more than capable. He also states that he's leaving the city as Wax is getting too close, and that if Miles is successful, he just send out a messenger to let Mr. Suit know. So what do you think about the fact that Mr. Suit is leaving the city?
Yeah, I mean, when you don't trust the guy that is doing all this stuff, you should probably leave before the law gets there.
He is the hero this city deserves.
I got a wild theory.
Okay.
He's Batman.
Wild, yeah,
Yeah.
totally. No, but wild theory.
Mhm.
Because we remember the lot. It wasn't Mistborn, was it? It was no, it was Warbreaker. We follow the people who are like so like helpful to the person.
Oh yeah,
What if
Denton Tonkfa.
Yeah, what if Mr. Suit is like somebody very close, like, Wayne? Not saying Wayne specifically, but just
Like
it's gonna be like somebody who's close to
one of our main characters.
our main characters, exactly.
Mr. J.
That'd be very interesting because yeah, Wax hasn't seen Mr. Suit yet, so we don't know if he's someone like important in the city that we've seen before. Like he's obviously not someone that Miles recognizes, so he's not going to be some random lawman from the Roughs.
Yeah,
But
that's why I did because that's why I figured he wasn't Wayne specifically, but like
yeah, because he would obviously. I think
because
Miles has seen
yeah,
enough of Wayne's like disguises that he would probably be able to figure it out.
but it's just the way that later when he starts acting like a woman or whatever, and
Mhm.
yeah, it gets seen through, but like it got me thinking maybe
Well, it gets seen through because
somebody's
Wayne has it be seen through on purpose.
yeah, well yeah, that's what I'm saying, but just in general.
Hmm. But yeah, no, I mean, considering Miles says that Mr. Suit's likely from like upper nobility, it's very likely it could be like an ally of Wax's house, like some noble who's been at like the parties with
Yeah,
him.
like our butler who just up and changed like all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it could be like he could be like someone from one of the main houses that Wax like has interacted with. Like, who knows? It could be anyone in the city. Because Miles really doesn't spend time in the city outside of these like thieveries. So, but also, what do you think Mr. Suit is doing when he's outside of Ellendale and isn't working here with Miles? So Miles says he often goes out somewhere on like a train.
Probably being a menace somewhere else.
Do you think he's like doing stuff for the set? Do you think he's doing something personal?
I think he just goes back to his normal life, so nobody
Goes back into his like.
unassuming. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
word I'm looking for. So everything's unassuming.
That's fair. What do you think, Darkness? Do you agree? Do you think he's just going out to try and make himself not seem suspicious, or do you think he's like doing something important?
I feel like he has a political life,
Mm.
that he does go back to, but that's not necessarily where he always goes.
So you think it's like a mix? He's like sometimes going out to like make appearances so he doesn't seem suspicious, and then sometimes off doing things for the set that are secret.
Yep.
Makes sense. So Malison heads to the
Or
main.
for himself, you never really know. So, because we don't even know if he's like The top one, right?
Yeah, I mean, considering he's here with Miles the whole time, it seems like maybe he's probably not like the head of the set. He's like a middle manager.
Yeah.
That's what we call him.
Middle manager, get it? Cause
Yeah, that's why. Okay. Glad you spelled it out for us, Darkness. That's exactly what I was saying.
So Miles then heads to the main chamber, trailed by the two men, and sees the machine that had been brought into the chamber by mechanical lifts. Miles thinks about how much the world is changing with electricity, but he isn't bothered by change due to being an augur. He barely thinks about his allomantic ability, though, as his feruchemy usually keeps his focus. Miles jumps over the banister, and the two men follow him, and Miles notes one as a coin shot and the other as a lurcher. Miles wanders among the vanishers as they prepare for the job tonight. He thinks that Tarson is the only one truly loyal to the cause, and Miles considers himself made by Trell and inspired by the survivor. Miles unburns Gold and becomes two different versions of himself. One is the lawkeeper who hates the man Miles has become, and the one is the man he is that hates the lawkeeper for borrowing the rules of others. Miles extinguishes his gold, feeling exhausted all of a sudden. He tells the two men following him to be useful if they're going to be here, and check his men to make sure they are clean of metal. The two seem reluctant at first, but eventually do as they're told. So what do you think about Miles considering Trellism to be the superior religion?
it is.
Everybody can be wrong here and there, you know.
You're a follower of Trell Darkness over the survivor?
No.
Who are you, a follower of Darkness?
What's that one thing called? The
Harmony?
deep?
Harmony.
Oh, the deepness?
Yeah.
Oh, so you'd be part of Splinterism, the religion that follows the Lord Ruler?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I think I would follow Harmony out of all the religions on Scadrial.
Yeah, but
Harmony's
nobody
too
wants to. Nobody wants to know what yours is because you have insider knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
I'm joking, obviously.
Harmony likes playing.
Uh,
I don't like it because Harmony likes playing for favorites. So.
He definitely doesn't like playing favorites.
what are you
Okay,
talking
but
about?
he
He's
is,
playing
though.
favorites.
He literally is,
stated
though.
it. He literally said it. He is playing favorites.
He's like, I don't want to, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, he's like, why won't you help me? And he's like, I am helping you. Literally, you're playing favorites, dude.
So Miles wonders.
Because that's about to make me complain to fucking Godhood HR or some shit.
Complain to the other shards.
The ones that are left.
Go up to Odium. Harmony's playing favorites.
No, honestly, yeah. I'm about to call Odium over.
Odium can't leave the Richard system.
Says who?
Says the Oath
Says
Pact.
who? Says who?
Says the Dead Honor.
Exactly, dead honor. They
Yeah,
just,
but the
like,
Oath Pact still keeps him bound there.
If he were to destroy the planet, right?
And he could leave, right?
Maybe.
There's no planet there, so I mean.
We get a little bit more into that when we get back to Oathbringer and
Oh my
War and
god!
stuff.
Would you just tell us? God damn!
Can't. We'll get to
Leave
Oathbringer
the
and
planet.
I honestly don't know if he could leave, if he destroys the planet, if he could leave the Risharn system or not.
Well,
I
wait.
don't
No, no.
Wasn't there 3 gods in the other system?
There's Cultivation, Honor, and Odium.
Yeah. So I feel like he can. I feel like it would be a thing.
I feel like he probably couldn't.
Okay, but if
No?
Odium is like in the other system, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole system, right? Which means multiple planets, right? Is he just chilling on one of the other planets?
I'm
He is,
assuming
right?
he's chilling on Braze with or something. I was gonna say with something, and that was a spoiler for a second.
Uh-huh.
I think he might be just chilling on Braze or something. Normally.
We almost got her, Darkness. Almost. All right, whoever heard that and hasn't joined the Patreon yet.
Please
Join
put
there
the
with the name that she didn't say.
Yeah, everyone who's read further in Stormlight definitely knows the word I was gonna say there.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he's just chilling with
tell us.
Ruin. Imagine.
Yeah, just with Ruin. Harmony is split again. He's actually just Preservation now, and Ruin's over there.
I can see that. Yeah.
But yeah, so Miles wonders briefly if the person he sees is the person he would have become if he took a different path, or if it was just his past self. He isn't sure, but thinks that the more he looks at that self, the more he becomes an alloy of himself. Miles then sees some of his men looking at him, but he isn't worried about looking weak in front of them, as he had proved to them he couldn't be killed by shooting himself in the head in front of them previously.
Or apparently blowing yourself up with dynamite.
Yup. Yeah, imagine just being like, you get in front of like the group of adventurers being like, don't even try and take control, because I can't die. Puts gun to his head, just blows his brains out, instantly heals. That would be
Like,
fucking crazy.
No, I just the way that this man work, I love him so much. Just because the way he does things, he's just like, hey, by the way, I can't die, so I'm gonna just blow myself up.
Yup. So Miles and walks
Oh,
past.
you got me trapped? Nah.
I got you, Jet.
Boom.
Yeah, so Miles walks past some of Wax's things from his mansion, things that Mr. Suit had taken before agreeing to kill Wax, and up to his own things. He takes out his old lawman outfit, deciding to dress as himself since he was outed now. So what do you think about the two versions of Miles hating each other?
Wait, repeat the question?
What do you think of the two versions of Miles hating each other? So when he burns gold, he sees two versions of himself, and they hate each other.
Oh yeah, because like that's what it could have been, right? Or whatever, the past
Yeah.
one or whatever.
So what do you think about the
of
fact
course he hates him.
that those two versions of him hate himself?
Well, I mean, it's pretty valid. He hates who he used to be, and then the other one hates who he has become.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that because of what they said about not understanding what gold actually does. So I'm like, kind of wondering if I'm thinking of it the same way too.
If this turns into some like Flash type of shit where they're like branching timelines, I'm gonna like go crazy.
Branching timelines. Oh goodness.
Because I don't got time to go through like not just multiple worlds and solar systems, but also timelines and dimensions. There's the whole Marvel like DC
There is
scenario.
there's no multiple timelines. I will tell you that.
Yet.
Yet, as far as I'm aware,
Oh,
there's
no,
no
don't
multiple
say that.
timelines.
Yet darkness. Yet.
Now, if the author wants to hire me to, try out those ideas back and forth, I'm so down. Anyway,
Apparently,
Oh my
Brand does actually have like specific employees whose like job it is to keep track of events throughout the universe and make sure like timeline stuff fits together from his
Hey man,
books.
if one of those people drop from you, I can show you my entire timeline for my 9 books, and I promise you, I'll be hired.
Brandon,
okay.
hire me too.
If she has no talent, don't
I
hire
have
her.
talent.
no, she's gonna be like posting like spoilers on social
No,
media,
I
bro.
won't.
Exactly.
I'm not Tom Holland.
No, she's worse.
No.
Honestly, she's gonna be like, "Did you guys know that Harmony gave everybody powers and then like kill them and give them powers again, and then send them all to gods and then set them
Oh my
into different
gosh.
worlds, like as like a new organization?"
Damn darkness! Did you just spoil something?
Imagine.
Did you know that wit is odium?
Oh my god! Imagine if Spook was Odium.
Oh my gosh. Did you know?
Imagine if that was an actual like spoiler that she just gave us.
We've never seen
Wait.
odium and wit in the same room together.
Yeah, we haven't. You're right.
I don't think we've actually seen odium in general.
I wonder if Odium's hot. Is Odium
I mean,
single?
all the gods are pretty hot. So
I know the answer to how odium looks, and I will not say if he's hot or not.
would you say it even if like it wasn't a spoiler?
Is Odium human?
Odium is human. He has a
Okay.
human vessel.
I mean, yeah, I'd say don't all of them have like human?
Well, the thing is that I don't doubt that a
do all of
non-human
them
could
have
take
human
a shard.
vessels? That's a question.
I said all of the ones we've seen so far have. Have they not? Am I missing something?
Oh my
here?
god, Minna, you're so right. I should shove a fucking shard instead of hemolytic horse.
Jesus, Darkness is gonna get his horse eventually.
That horse is not gonna be a horse by the end of
Oh
it.
gosh.
I mean, apparently this horse is gonna have literally every single power.
Wait, didn't we just have
Adalnasium
yeah,
becomes a
the-
horse.
The base has got to be a Ratium or whatever it's called.
Wait, what's no? Or no, what's the other one's name? There's another one. What are the 3 names? Cultivation. Cultivation's a horse.
Cultivation's a horse.
No, cultivation's a horse.
I fucking hated preservation as a person.
Not preservation. Cultivation.
I know, but I'm saying
Oh, okay.
preservation.
Okay,
I
just wanna make
liked,
sure.
I liked Laris. Laris was a chill
No.
guy.
No.
No,
He was doing his best.
he
Ruined way
was
better.
annoying as fuck.
Ruin
He reminded me of
is
you,
way
Minnie.
better.
Wow.
Kind of, actually. Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
I would say if I was any of the gods, I would be cultivation. That is the
Why?
shard I relate to the most.
What have you cultivated in your time?
I
Huh?
love gardening and like working with kids and helping them learn stuff like that. Like I used to work when I was in high school at like a summer camp to help kids learn to read.
You can read?
Wow.
We're doing a podcast. God.
Oh my gosh.
Doing a podcast about reading books. You can read.
I mean, she could be listening to them.
I'm a good Voran man. I only listen to
Mythic.
audiobooks.
Oh my
Alright.
God.
We switch back to Wax's point of view, as he sits in Renette's sitting room. He has nailed a large pad of paper into the wall as per Renette's instructions, and he was making notes based on the manifests that Wayne had brought him. Wax is fairly sure where the Vanishers will strike, and is looking at different parts of the railway line that are closest to the canal. Marassi then returns with the nets, coming over and noting on Wax's notes the ugly doodles of Wax that Wayne had drawn. Marassi also notes how Wax has notes on how the phantom rail car is likely a false front with a headlamp on a little rail cart. Marassi then mentions to Wax that if she picked up that she had picked up a broadsheet, and it reveals that the cops had found the Vanishers' hideout. Wax thinks they found it early, although Marassi mentions that it's later in the evening than he thought it was. Marassi then urges Wax to tell the constables what he knows. So do you think the guy that Wayne left with the constable spoke up quicker than Wayne told him to, or do you think the constables found the hideout on their own?
I think that dude definitely talked.
Say the question again?
So they mention how the constables found the Vanisher hideout sooner than they expected. I was saying, do you think the one guy that Wayne told to let the constables know, like, said it sooner? Because he gave him, like, a time that he should, like, tell the constables about things. So do you think he told it to them sooner, or do you think the constables found the hideout all on their own?
I think they found him.
What if? Wild theory.
Mhm.
What if the head of the constables is Suit?
Ooh, so you think Mr. Suit might be with the constables?
Oh, that'd be cool, honestly.
Right? I mean,
He's like, well, Wax and Wayne have already been there, so might as well just let the constables go there now. It's not looking good though for that guy that Wayne was trying to help though. If Mr. Suit is with the constables,
yeah.
that guy might be offed.
I mean, I think that
Only a
guy's gonna
little
be
bit.
off anyways. So
You don't think
True.
he'll escape?
nah, my man's not escaping anything. He's not smart enough.
I feel like we haven't seen enough blood and gore in this fucking book so far.
You say as Wayne got his whole back fucking
Okay,
burned
but like
off in the
that's
explosion
different though. 'Cause
recently.
it's
Who cares about Wayne?
Miles got like shot in the head multiple times and regrew his
midnight.
eyeball.
Midnight. That doesn't count
Why does that not
Blood.
count?
because they're fine. If you can get back up, then it doesn't matter.
They killed off like 30 fucking Vanishers at the wedding party. The retired constable died.
There's just
Not
not enough
enough.
guns.
Not enough. Not enough deaths. Like
Great.
we
This
want
is America
death.
now.
Is this ruin? You guys ruin?
Yes. Yes, I am. What are you gonna do about it, huh?
Merge you with preservation.
Yo.
Yeah, like that pussy wants me.
So Waxton explains that the constables won't be able to handle Miles. Instead, they'll just flood the area and tip Miles off to what is happening. Wax thinks that he is the best shot at taking down Miles.
I said not wrong.
Waxton says he's the best shot at taking down Miles because of how similar the two of them are. He also tells Marassi that he has left a letter with Renette to send to the constables with all the information they have learned and how to take down Miles if Wax fails and dies tonight. Waxton gives Marassi a box, telling her that it will be her part tonight and she'll be with Wayne when he faces off against Miles. So what do you think about Wax leaving this letter with a bunch of information for the constables in case he dies?
Mm-mm.
You should never plan for your death. That's just
You should never leave information in general around, but okay.
that too.
What, you don't trust Renette? Renette's awesome.
I don't
I don't
trust anyone.
nobody. Right.
I don't trust anyone.
That feels very homophobic of you in case she's a lesbian.
I still doesn't matter if she's lesbian or not. I don't trust her. I don't trust the two heterosexual people. I don't trust any of these motherfuckers.
The only person I trust is Odium.
Damn.
Same. At least he has his priorities straight, you know?
You've known barely anything about Odium.
He's got his priorities straight.
I know he's toxic, which is hot.
You don't trust Zeth and Nightblood?
Which is hot. No. I don't trust them because they both have differing paths.
You know, there's a difference between trust and liking someone.
Yeah, I love Nightblood.
That's why a lot of marriages end up in divorce. Anyway.
Damn. Okay. Just going serious all of a sudden.
I mean, just the truth. I mean, if it hurts, it hurts, you know?
So Marassi then guesses that Wax thinks her too young.
The only person here who's married.
I
Me,
am the only
of
person
course.
who's... Oh yeah, sure, Darkness.
Do you not remember me marrying Calvin and like
Oh my gosh.
5 other men in these
How many
books?
times? How many times? What's this like your 5th marriage now?
It's because you know how freaking what's his name? Is it wait? You know how he's going around different like planets collecting powers? I'm
You're hunting
collecting men.
husbands.
Yeah.
I see. Who's your husband then from
That's
each
about right.
planet?
Oh God.
Yeah, please, let's go.
Okay, so I don't
Start with
even know if I like anyone
Nalthus,
from.
who's the
The
Warbreaker
thing is, I don't
planet.
know if I like anyone from Warbreaker.
What? Are you
I-
kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know if I like anyone from
You don't want to
Warbreaker.
marry Basher?
No, I don't like Basher.
You don't want to marry Denth?
Ew.
You don't want to marry
Don't ever.
Susebron?
Who the fuck?
Susebron, the
Susebron.
God King?
Oh, you're right. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Or Lightsong?
Please.
Huh?
Or
No, Light Song's
Lightsong?
mine. Light Song's mine.
No, I don't like Light Song. No,
Yeah,
you're
Light Song's mine. No.
I was
But
no, you're right. I was simping for
I
Superman.
knew you exactly.
Yeah, you were simping for Susebron.
Okay, so that's him, right? And then who's our
Okay,
next pick?
we're Elantris.
We know who it was. It was that one fucking dude that died.
Oh,
Yeah.
the guard captain guy.
Died
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
quick. Died really fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still mad as fuck, bro.
Yeah, the one that you made your whole thing of I'm not gonna like any more people because of.
Yeah.
And then who's
that's
your
so
who's your husband on
disappointing.
Scadrial?
Who the fuck is Skejo?
The Mistborn
Mistborn?
planet.
Fuck.
Got both
I
Era
mean-
1 and Era 2 now. Who's your
I mean, Ruin
who's your
Ruin
husband?
is pretty fucking hot. Not gonna lie.
Ruin's
so.
dead. Addie's
Okay, but
dead.
Hot.
Okay, but like most of the people I like are dead too.
we
So it's fine.
we haven't
Susan
ruled out
Brown's
dead
not
people.
dead.
What are you talking about?
Honestly, I'm gonna go. No, that's kind of nasty.
What?
I was gonna say Lord Ruler, but then I remembered he turns old as fuck when he gets like his shit ripped off.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, he looks good before that.
I feel like we would clash too much though.
You don't want to marry Rashek? Want to marry Spook?
Oh.
Cute. That's a whole.
Wait, isn't
different
Spook a
fucking-
child most of the entire time that we're?
Well, he's an adult by the end, and
Yeah, but he's a child for most.
I know.
Honestly, I have no idea. Did I
Really?
simp for anyone in this book?
I feel like you did in Mistborn. I feel like you had, but I don't remember
Yeah.
who. You simp for somebody every time.
Was it Ham? Were you simping for Ham?
No.
No, not
I was
the
making
mustard.
fun of Han.
There's
Yeah,
Ham, Breeze, Clubs, Demo, Doxson, Kelsier. I feel like you were simping for the Lord Ruler for most of it, Rashek.
Yeah,
For the
that's
most
what I'm
part,
saying.
he's
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's
Like,
also
you 100%
Zane, Ellen's
like-
crazy brother.
Oh
Okay,
my
maybe
god.
a little bit for
Yeah.
Zane, but
For Zane, yeah.
I didn't like him
you like that
after like,
crazy-
Finn and him started.
You really like that craziness, huh?
Yeah, I know he does.
I think I'm gonna go for Lord Ruler and Ruin together. You know.
Okay,
at the same
Atty
time.
and Rashek.
At the same time.
What other planets do we have? And then you said Kaladin for Roshar. That's all the planets we've had.
Yeah, that's all the plans we have so far.
Oh wait, Threnody. We had Threnody very briefly. We know like 3 characters on Threnody. That's Force for Silence or
Is that the one with the
Silence?
kid? The kid that slides across the world and shit?
no, that's
No,
the
is it the
woman
one with the
Silence.
shadows?
Yeah, with the shades and stuff. In the Forest of Hell.
I'll just pick one of the shades, honestly.
Okay. And then we also have the Sixth of Dust planet, First of the Sun, where the only male character is Sixth. You wanna marry Six?
I don't remember that.
It's the bird planet.
Right.
With the crazy
Yeah, there's no husband. There's no
psychic
husband there,
monsters.
darkness. There's no husband there.
Says who? I'll marry one of the birds platonically. It's a mutual beneficial. You know, it's like a contract marriage.
Yeah, until they start laying eggs inside you.
And then we also have the White
Oh
Sand planet.
no.
Do you want to marry the main character from White Sand too?
I'm okay with that actually.
White Sand. Oh wait, yeah, White Sand was the one where they were like manipulating.
The sand.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's
They were sandbenders.
Yeah. There we go. That's all of our planets that you guys have seen so far. All right, let's get back to the chapters.
I just did a whole ranking system for the fucking men in all these planets.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So Marassi then guesses that Wax thinks her too young and that he doesn't want her to get involved. She also
We
thinks
should do that after. We'll do that for like for the Patreon.
I
Oh, we should
do
do a
a-
ranking
we-
system.
we-
We could do like
a tier list
like
video.
how
Yeah,
our
sure, let's do
powers,
that.
like the powers that
I've
we
kind of
could
asked you guys in general, but we haven't done like a proper ranking thing, yeah.
Yeah, we should do a total. We should totally do a ranking like thing. I mean, probably gotta get a little further because I don't know how many we really like. We should do like a ranking system thing for the
Mhm.
Patreon. But back to the thing. I'm sorry, I'm getting us off track.
You're cutting
I
out a
mean,
little
this
bit,
is
by the way.
irrelevant though.
Am I?
Every time you right at the end of each of your sentences, you kind of cut off weird.
Weird.
Okay,
Okay.
but he sounds fine to me though.
Did he?
Oh, is it only to her? Okay.
Yeah, he sounds like normal
He
to me.
sounds fine
Which I
now,
mean,
but like the
it's
last
coming through
little
her, so.
bit, I don't know. Anyways, so Marcy guesses that Wax thinks her too young and doesn't want her to get involved. She also thinks that he's glad she decided to stay and help because he wants to use whatever resources he has. Wax then tells Marassi about the deputy he had before Wayne, a man that was incredibly brave even though he was easily startled. Wax and Marassi share a look, but Wax breaks the moment by mentioning that Marassi should try to get a rifle from Renette that might be able to use the aluminum rounds. Before Marassi leaves, she mentions that she could read Wax well because of her interrogations class and because she read Wax's psychological profile. Wax is
It's just
shocked.
crazy that they have those in this.
Yeah, and Wax is shocked to hear that apparently this professor came out in a disguise to get this psychological profile. And Wax had thought that this guy was a chronic gambler and cheat, but he was actually a psychologist in disguise. Marassi mentions that part is actually mentioned in the psychological report, and how Wax apparently has a tendency to think that anyone who wears a lot of red is a gambler. which is so random. Wax mutters that he needs to read that report at some point. He then slips his earring into his ear, wanting to wear it since he was doing something important tonight. So yeah, what did you think about how Marassi and Wax seem to understand each other so well?
I wonder who's gonna end up with who.
Do you think Wax and Marassi are going to end up together, or do you think this is
I really like her. She's cool.
Yes.
I really like Marassi as well. I don't know if I
definitely
like
think they're
her
gonna end up together for
with
sure.
Wax, but I do like her quite a bit.
I feel like
How did you feel about Breeze and his wife?
I hate it.
Exactly. So I guess you're not a very good judge of character,
At least not on Scadrial.
huh?
Not a fan of the relationships on Scadrial, it seems. Although I liked Vin and Ellen. Vin and Ellen a lot. I thought they were
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
most of them
I mean,
are kind of questionable.
to be honest, that kind of was shoved down our throats. So I still think she would have been better with Spook, but
the Ladrian men. I'm just not a fan of their taste in women. Apparently, potentially.
what did you think about the what's the guy's name from Elantris?
Rowden.
Yeah.
Wait, I kind of
Him and his mail order bride.
His mail order bride. You mean the political marriage that was very common back in the day?
Yeah, mail ordered.
Mm-hmm. I kind of liked them. They were all
his dad is a male, and he ordered her from another country.
I didn't mind their relationship. I thought they were kind of cute. I also like Ciri and Susebron. I think they're cute from where.
Susebron is the God King thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the best one so far.
Ciri and Susebron are adorable. Yeah.
Because we're told we're like given this thing of like this guy's gonna be a terrible person, and then she just comes in and is just like, nah, I can fix him. I love
there's a relationship later on in Mistborn Era 2. We'll get to it eventually in one of the books, but that I think is my favorite relationship in the Cosmere. A lot of people really like the relationship, but it's later in the books. But there's a really good relationship later on.
Yeah, it's gonna be the lesbian relationship that we're currently about to
Renette.
Yeah.
Actually, Marassi is gonna become a lesbian, and her and Renette are gonna get together.
Okay. I feel like that's just your headcanon.
I feel like Marassi and Renette would be a hilarious couple.
I can't disagree with you, but I just feel like that's your headcanon.
We then move to chapter 16, where we get a broadsheet page, which is mainly just a very long continuation of some stuff from Alamancer Jack about being tied up by the Koloss and ready to die. It also mentions his faithful terraceman companion, Handerwim.
All I have to say is I don't get these.
That's why I summarized them.
Yeah, I'm just saying, this is the first book that I have not gotten these.
Yeah, I would be surprised that you would get the broadsheet pages. I'm surprised they aren't included.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy to me. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't go into much detail about this little Alamancer Jack thing because I'm pretty sure it covers stuff that are actually covered in the short story. So I was like, well,
yeah. So what you're saying is we should have read Alamancer Jack first, guys?
No, it actually is recommended in Arcanum and better that you read it after Alloy of Law.
But yet this is like giving us information about it.
It gives you little hints. I think it's kind of like a teaser for the short story.
Mm-hmm.
There's also an advertisement for electric lights and for a man that will install them for you in your home. So we switch to Wayne's.
Are we sure it's a man?
I believe it specifies it as a guy.
Okay. I
Uh,
mean, I feel like the person that could do it real well kind of wired their entire house to be able to use elements.
yeah, it shows a picture of a guy. It says send
Ah,
a runner to
gotcha.
Briggs Wennington.
Briggs Weddington?
Wennington. Wennington.
Gotcha.
And it says the cultivated gentleman and all octants agree. Only electric lights will do.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Never thought I'd get advertisements in a
in a
book.
book. But yeah, so we switch to Wayne's point of view as he pretends to be a frail old woman, moving through the crowd of people gawking at the railcar on display. Wayne moves through the crowd, muttering about how no one respects old women anymore, and coughing to get people to make way for him. Some young boys move to the side, and Wayne gives them candy, playing the elderly grandmother role. Wayne gets to the front of the crowd and pretends to be amazed by the railcar. A guard nearby seems smug and tells Wayne that the car is impregnable. Wayne goes on a long tangent about his fake grandson and how safes can be cracked, but the guard insists you can't enter as it has a timer that means even if you know the code, it won't open until 12 hours are up. It also has steel so thick it can't be blasted open. The guard then mentions that 8 guards will be riding inside of the train car during the trip as well. So what did you think about Wayne coming over and getting some information about the train car from this guard?
Once again, he's just, tricking people into doing shit. It works. So
It is crazy how easily this shit works.
yeah, I mean, yes, I get it. You're very good at impressions, but like
He's also good at
there's
manipulating people.
only yeah,
He's got
apparently.
super high charisma. If he was a D&D character, he'd have like an 18 or a 20 in charisma.
Yeah. Well, what about his brother? What do you think he would have? I know they're not actually
I
brothers,
was
but
gonna
they're
say, what
brothers
do
in
you mean his
arms.
brother?
I know they're brothers in arms, okay?
Wax, I don't think has the highest charisma. I'd say he'd have like an average 10. Yeah, also, what do you think that Wayne actually already knew this information about the railcar before they got there, and this is just part of his like plan to make it look like the Vanishers are gathering information, or do you think he actually wanted the information?
I think he already knew.
Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Mythic.
Do you think it's more just like part of his active like, oh, the Vanishers are getting information?
Mhm.
Which I think
Yeah.
makes sense considering he got all that information from the railway company. So Wayne lets his accent slip, and the guard calls for others to go after Wayne. Wayne lets more of his disguise fall as he shoots a blank from his cane, wobbling slightly as he does whenever he holds a gun. The crowd begins to panic, and Wayne hides behind a building before putting up a speed bubble so that he can change into a gentleman's disguise that he had hidden under the old woman's disguise. The guard comes rushing over, and Wayne pretends to be someone from House Techiel. The guard apologizes to him and says he chased off the man, but Wayne insists the person pretending to be the old woman must have been one of the Vanishers. He scolds the guard and sends him back to his post before putting up a second speed bubble to change into a third disguise. He goes over to the guard pretending to be sent by the previous nobleman and disguised as another guard to help. What did you think about Wayne's multiple disguises to get the guards to think that the Vanishers had been here looking for information and then joining in with the guards?
Well, if I'm right and it's the commissioner of all of these people or whatever, it won't work, but or he'll know that, be like, this is just a ploy.
Huh.
Did you think about all of Wayne's disguises, Darkness?
I need to take notes.
I mean,
Mind
why
you,
aren't you doing that anyways?
that's for like, the D&D
For
campaign.
D&D as for your rogue.
Hmm.
So Waxon comes over as well, also dressed as a guard. The actual guard tells him to guard this post, leaving Wax and Wayne alone. Then, gunshots go off, and Wax is fake shot in the shoulder. Wayne shoves him into the train car, and the other guards don't question it since it seems like Wayne is just getting an injured guard into the safest place possible. Wayne gets yelled at a bit for locking the train door without the guards inside, but Wayne insists it stopped the Vanishers as the gunshots had stopped. The guard captain reluctantly repeated this to his superior, and in under an hour the train was moving again. So what do you think about this plan to get Wax inside of the train car without any other guards?
It's, you know, it's interesting how none of the shit that I expected to happen actually happened the way I thought it would. Like, just the plan they're doing,
Yeah.
At the end, I was like, oh, he's caught on, like, no.
Nope. Them thinking they caught on was actually part of the plan.
Yeah, it was a reverse no you, no you.
Make them think the Vanishers are here, join the guards, and then pretend to be injured, and then lock the door as if by accident because you're not one of the actual guards. And they're like, oh, I was just here to help. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
It stopped them. They stopped shooting.
Yeah, we can start up now. We can start the train back up now.
So then we go to chapter 17, and we switch to Wax's point of view as he sits alone in the rail car. He had set up a lamp as well as hooked the nets to the ceiling. His guard uniform was discarded, and he wore a simple suit now. He plays with the earring and accuses Harmony of wanting him to do this, but gets no response. He then places the dynamite and detonator on the ground before feeling the train car begin to slow. So what did you think these
Plays
nets
with
were?
his earring.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course he wants you to do that.
Yeah, what did you think the nets were for at this point? Like, did you have any idea what he'd be using the nets for?
They were gonna go
No,
fishing.
I really didn't think about it, to be honest. I didn't actually even pick it up on it, to be honest.
I had forgotten what the nets were used for. I'm like, what the fuck is he using the nets for again?
Yeah, how do
And I'm
you
like,
catch
oh
a
right,
guy who
Miles
can't die, I
blows himself
guess?
up.
Yeah, too bad it didn't work, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 chapters left in this book. I'm really not expecting to... Okay,
I
I'm
didn't think it
sorry.
was gonna be
I don't
that
ever think of the
short.
epilogue as a fucking chapter.
I didn't think it was gonna be this short, honestly.
Very short book, apparently.
Yeah, I think this is the shortest of the Mistborn Era 2 books. If I had done the word count from the start, this probably would have been our final episode of it.
Yeah, so what she's saying is it's all her fault.
It is.
Wow.
So we switch to Marassi's point of view as Wayne points out the train slowing and the fake phantom railcar coming towards the train. Marassi is upset that she is wearing trousers instead of a dress or skirts, feeling like any man she comes across will be staring at her legs. Which,
Yep, probably.
sure. She looks through Wayne's spyglass to confirm the phantom railcar really is fake, although she wonders how they have such a powerful portable light. Wayne then mentions that Wax will be happy that the mist seemed to be forming tonight. Suddenly, the front of the fake phantom railcar drops, and a rotary gun shoots down the 6 Tachyon guards that had jumped off the train to investigate. Marassi readies her weapon to help, but Wayne tells her it's too late, and she reluctantly puts the gun away as she hears the gunshots stop. Marassi then turns her attention to the canal where something large moves through the water. It's soon revealed to be some type of crane as it lifts the whole vault railcar off the tracks. The crane places... Yeah. The crane... the crane
You know how heavy them motherfuckers are? That's
right,
crazy.
especially as like a thick steel rail car with like a vault door. It's like not just a normal rail car; it's like extra heavy.
Mm-hmm.
The crane places the rail car on the barge and then replaces the rail car with a replica that the Vanishers lock back into place. So, what do you think about how the Vanishers take the whole train car instead of breaking into the cargo car?
Kind of crazy, to be honest.
I mean, how many clues of a crime are you gonna leave in a room if you take the room and then replace it with your own?
Right? Because like they've been talking this whole time about like how the fuck do they get the cargo out so quickly, and it's like they don't. They just take the whole train car.
Which is honestly awesome. That's like
it's really
crazy.
cool. I think.
Yep. It's like right straight out of Ocean's 11, I swear.
So some of the Vanishers were shooting at the other parts of the train to distract the passengers from looking out at what was happening. The phantom railcar then quickly speeds backwards and away from the train, so that it also isn't caught. Marassi then mentions following the barge as it begins to move back down the canal. Wayne complains that Wax always gets to be the one to ride in comfort before getting ready to head after the barge. Then we switch back to Miles's point of view as he rides on the machine that is part barge and part crane. Tarson comes over to him, saying that they killed anyone who saw the train car and that they should be clean. Miles, however, says they aren't, as he's sure that Wax is inside the vaulted train car. Tarson is shocked by this as he glances towards the rail car that is being covered with tarps. Their disguise for the barge was that it was a shipment of stone from an outer quarry. Miles had been thinking that when you saw the robberies and other things go wrong so often, it was hard not to think of ways that it could be done better, and so he'd had an idea for this for over 10 years. So what did you think about the fact that Miles has anticipated Wax would be inside the train car?
He just knows him too well, to be honest.
What's the question?
I said, what did you think about Miles anticipating that Wax would be inside the train car?
Yeah, that's I mean, honestly, it's expected. He's been like pretty much saying the whole time, like, "Oh, I know how he thinks. I know what he's gonna do." All this
Except
shit.
Wax outthought him because Wax anticipated that Miles would anticipate that he's in the train car.
Yep.
I will anticipate your anticipation. Which I fucking love, that they're both like, but I've outsmarted you, but I've outsmarted you!
Yeah, and then neither one of them is really that smart.
Miles doesn't have to be smart, he can just blow himself up and he's fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he's the best.
So Miles continues to say that Wax will be inside the railcar, but won't expect that Miles will know that. Except you're wrong about that, Miles. He thinks that they'll have to wait to open it at the workshop. However, he thinks it'd be funny to sink it and see if Wax had a plan for that. Carson just states that Mr. Suit wouldn't want them sinking the cargo. Miles thinks that if Mr. Suit knew how dangerous Wax was, he would have pulled out of the city instead of doing this robbery. As they float through the city, Miles thinks that some men consider the mists bad luck, even though 2 religions consider them divine. Kelsier was said
Yeah.
Kelsier was said to be the lord of the mists. When the mists were thick, he would appear to people who are independent thinkers or surviving on their own. Miles thinks that people in the city who worship Kelsier are hypocrites since they don't allow their employees to think for themselves. Miles, however, thinks that the new religion he follows was better than the survivor's religion.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
So what do you think about the rumors of the survivor appearing to people in the mists? Do you think that's true, or do you think it's just rumors?
I think it's rumors based on truth.
So you think maybe he's done that a couple times, but it's mainly rumors, like not everyone who's saying this has actually had it happen to them?
Yeah. Or just in general,
Okay.
I think it's fabric, like not, not as, like it's, over time it just kind of got muddy, like telephone.
Yeah.
Like when people play telephone. Go on. Sorry, Dennis.
I was just saying, yeah, that I agree.
Okay.
So
I
they
always
get
feel bad because I cut you off.
No,
I can cut her off all I want. I don't ever feel bad about cutting her off. But you, I feel bad about.
Especially since Darkness often loses his train of thought if you cut him off for too long.
yeah.
For sure. And you have notes, so who cares about you?
I have notes, so I can't lose my train of thought.
I mean, you can. You've lost your train of thought quite a few times.
I mean,
mental
I
notes.
refined
Where
them
was I again?
notes.
Where was I again? Where was I again? I feel like we should make a compilation of that.
Oh my gosh. So they get to the workshop and the train car is lifted off of the barge. It then descends into the underground foundry by a lift. Once down below, Miles calls for his men to work on opening up the train car as he doesn't want to wait the 12 hours. They get some chains and motors to set up to pull off the door, and Miles calls for everyone to get their guns ready to shoot at Wax who's inside. Push and Pull hadn't heard Miles' conversation about Wax being inside the train car and are unhappy that Miles had brought Wax here. The door groans, and the chains for a moment seem to stretch, but the hinges of the large vault door begin to break and shrapnel flies free before the door bursts off the train car. Miles is ready until he sees a thin string leading from the door to the inside of the train car. He curses as Wax, hiding behind the large metal crate, pulls on the string. So yeah, what did you think about Miles deciding to open up the train car right away and not wait for it to unlock itself?
When he was discussing what to do with the whole thing or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
my thought, honestly, most of the time when people are like, I want to do this because it's going to get rid of this so fast, but I really shouldn't, so I won't, is just do it. Like, it's not worth going through all the trouble if it doesn't work out. Just do it now and get rid of it as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, drown that cart. But, yeah.
So then we get to chapter 18, our final chapter, where we switch to Wax's point of view as the explosion goes off. Once the shockwave passes, Wax leaves the train car and heads into the smoke-filled room. He notices 4 of the Vanishers are downed and thinks he could have taken out more, but he had wanted to make sure no innocent people were nearby first. Wax pushes against some scrap metal to avoid being shot at as he shoots at some of the Vanishers, taking 2 more of them out. He also shoots at Miles before realizing it was Miles. So what did you think about Wax causing an explosion to both kill some of the Vanishers as well as create a bunch of smoke to get out of the train car?
Huh. Are smoke bombs hard to replicate?
I don't know. A smoke bomb wouldn't have probably killed people like the explosion did.
That's fair.
What do you think about Wax's escape plan, Mythic?
Could have used some work, to be honest.
So Wax hides behind the train car, not happy with the setup of the room as it left him easily boxed in. Wax pushes a piece of metal to distract the Vanishers before sliding across the ground and hiding behind some boxes. He managed to shoot one of the Vanishers in his rush across the room. As Wax notices the tunnel and wonders if running in there would be better for him, he notices a suited man. Wax fires at him, but the man has a coin shot and pushes the bullet back into the wall. Wax loads his coin shot bullet, but is unable to fire before needing to hide from other gunshots. Tarson then comes up to flank.
Wow.
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah.
Yep.
My bad.
Tarson then comes up to flank Wax, trying to punch him, but Wax barely dodges. Before Wax can properly fight Tarson, the roof above him explodes, and Wayne falls down to join him. A speed bubble is quickly put up, and Wayne points out that he saved Wax from being shot in the head by the coin shot. Wax takes a step to the side as Wayne explains that he took out 3 men guarding the area above, and that Marassi is up there, covering them with gunshots. So what do you think about Wayne and Marassi's kind of plan with Wayne coming down to help, and then Marassi kind of shooting from above?
That was a great plan. That was a great plan. It totally worked out great.
It works up until Wax brings the coin shot and Lurcher up above.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Mythic?
Man, I think the plan was great. Just Execution, maybe not so good.
Yeah. I mean, Wax obviously wasn't expecting a coin shot.
Should expect the unexpected.
Wax tries to go for Vindication, but the coin shot pushes on it, causing Wax to have to dodge the gun. He pushes the gun upwards to keep it from hitting the wall and potentially breaking, and then tries to go after it again. The coin shot goes to shoot at Wax, but Marassi shoots at him, causing the man to have to dodge. Wax flies up and out of the underground hideout as he chases his gun, grabbing it, but is followed by the coin shot and a lurcher. Wax tries to fire one of the special bullets at the coin shot, but doesn't aim well enough, and the coin shot just barely dodges it. Wax curses as he takes a bullet slice into the arm. Wax and the two Alamasters continue to fight, shooting at each other, but none taking any hits. Marassi ends up taking out the lurcher while he's distracted with Wax, and Wax quickly grabs Marassi as the coin shot fires at them. So what did you think about Marassi taking down the lurcher? Pretty helpful.
She's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I still don't believe that one lady is just. I think it's a lurcher.
Oh, Renette? You think
Yeah.
maybe she has a ferrochemical ability as well?
Yeah.
If she does, it doesn't seem like Wax knows about it, because he didn't note it at all.
I doubt anyone knows about it.
She does like to keep to herself a lot. So Wax glances down into the underground hideout to see Wayne fighting. He asks for Marassi's dynamite and she hands it over, and he tells her to try to shoot the coin shot when he comes for them. Wax then jumps back down into the underground area with Marassi, and then goes to join Wayne, and Wayne puts up a speed bubble so they can talk. Tarson is still alive, and Wax thinks that Wayne often has trouble with pewter arms. Wayne then tells Wax where Miles is, and Wax says his first priority is still to try to take down Miles. Wax throws the dynamite just before the speed bubble comes down, and then shoots it as the Vanishers turn to look at it, causing an explosion. Wax then lures Miles into the train car, where Miles enters after him. Wax drops the nets onto Miles and pushes on the ends of it to try to cause Miles to fall and drop his gun. Wax grabs Miles' gun, but then sees Miles get out a stick of dynamite. Wax curses and throws himself from the train car as Miles causes an explosion. So what did you think of Wax's...
blows his ass up. But
Yep.
It's so fucking insane.
So what did you think of Wax's plan to try and trap Miles with the nets?
It was great until the man pulled the dynamite and blew himself up. Like,
Wait.
who could plan for that?
Right?
Honestly.
It's like, oh, I was not expecting to have dynamite in his pocket to then blow himself up.
I mean, okay, no. If you knew he had dynamite in his pocket, yes, I would. Like, if that was a known thing, sure. Then I could see planning for that because obviously, he can't die. Who expects a man to just pull out dynamite
from his cigar case?
Yeah, like what?
He's like, yeah, no, I just keep it in there since some of the criminals used to try and trap me with ropes. So now I just keep dynamite in my cigar case.
That's the other thing, though. He says that other, like, the criminals or whatever did so, and then he makes the comment, like, you should have known because, all the criminals or whatever, and he was like, but you didn't leave any alive!
He's like, yeah, but you killed all of the criminals. How was I supposed to ask them? He's like,
Can you imagine the scene that you would walk into after he does that shit?
Oh my god,
Like, what it
yeah.
would look like?
It's gonna be disgusting.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes me, it's like he has the Deadpool, like, healing factor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wanting to blow his ass up and still somehow survive.
I just realized I don't know if I've ever grabbed it.
Ever seen the scene?
Miles.
Yeah, I would
It
love to
looked
see
like-
that scene. All the blood and gore all over the fucking place.
I don't think I have a picture of the blood and gore, but
What does he look like?
Oh yeah, cool. Also want to know what the suit looks like.
for some reason I always thought Miles was blonde, but they're not showing him as blonde here.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. That first one.
All his spikes in him.
Uh-huh. First one got me laughing at that fucking mustache.
me too.
Right.
Bro, did you really think that was like the way to go? Come on.
Most of them give him a mustache, so I'm assuming he specifically has a mustache.
Yeah, but that kind of mustache?
Yeah, that mustache is a little funny.
Motherfucker looks like Waluigi.
He does actually.
I am Waluigi with these golden spikes in me.
My gosh.
Wow.
Oh
Yeah,
my
exactly.
gosh.
Just like that guy. All right. Well, from now on, whenever we talk about Miles, that's what I'm gonna think of. Waluigi.
Wait. See that one dude's name? Fuck, I forgot what it is.
Who's
Wario?
No, he's in the book that we're reading right now. It was like a
Oh.
chapter behind or some shit.
Wow.
I kept hearing his name and I kept hearing something else.
I have no idea what would it be.
I have no idea what
is
you
it the
could have been
pewter arm
hearing,
game
honestly.
guy?
Who?
Is it the pewter arm guy? The cola blooded guy?
Did they say his name?
Yeah, what's
Tar
his name?
something. Targan or something like that?
Right,
Tarzan.
him! I keep hearing Tarzan.
Tarzan
Tarzan.
is of
Nice.
Tarzan.
Waluigi and Tarzan, got it. Waluigi.
Alright, anyways.
Anyways.
That fucking Waluigi gif is just chilling, dude.
So Wax blacks out for a few moments as he hits the ground after the explosion. When he comes to, he feels numb and his ears are ringing, but he sees Miles coming out of the railcar perfectly healed. Miles said that their powers prove they were chosen for greatness and that they should rule, not follow the rules of others. He comes over to Wax, almost begging him to agree with him, as he tells him that he keeps dynamite in his cigar case, as criminals in the past have tried to stop him with ropes.
Doesn't he? Who does he follow? Who does Miles follow again?
Trell.
Which one's Trell?
Trell is not a shard. Trell is one of the old gods that Sazed writes about and tries to.
Okay. I remember
it's like
that
the
now.
astronomy
I
religion.
was trying to remember who he had followed, but okay.
Yeah, I
followed the
believe
Lord Ruler, but
there's like
it was somebody else.
they call like the stars like the thousand eyes of Trell.
Mm.
They're star people.
Yep. So there's actually this like red like.
Is that like the astrology? Maybe that's the astrology one.
So there's
It
like
is.
in both Scadrial or both Mistborn and Stormlight, there's like this. They briefly mention how there's like this like space like galaxy or something that like looks red. So it's like this red streak across across space, and I believe that's what they're calling the stars in that galaxy. I believe are what they're calling Trell's Thousand Eyes. On Roshar they call it Town Scar. It's like this red streak across the sky of this like galaxy that apparently you can see from both Scadrial and Roshar.
Are they both in the same system?
No, they are not. It's
That's
just probably
crazy.
like somewhere in between them, or like they both like generally face towards that.
That's crazy that they can both be something, even though
Yeah.
they're not the both same system.
Yeah. So Miles
we're-
punches Wax in the gut before going over to where Wax had dropped Miles's gun. Wax somehow gets to his feet and then pushes against the metal debris to throw himself across the room and into a hidden spot behind some boxes where he collapses. So although we know like Wax gets up at some point in this chapter, are you concerned about how injured Wax is currently?
Not at all.
No?
No,
I was, because I was like, he has no healing factor.
I wasn't worried about it. He's the main character.
But the book's gonna end.
This one,
Yeah.
I mean, Kelsier
Man.
died in book 1 of Mistborn Era 1. We thought he was kind of the main character.
what? I never thought he was the main character.
Well,
I
he's
just
like
thought
he was
the
like a
best.
main character.
I thought he was just the best. I didn't think he was the main character. Vin's always been the main character.
He was like a main POV character, though.
So is like most people, and we have point of views from so many people, even the bad guys. Hell, if it was point of view, then I guess that old man who picked up Nightblood was a main character.
I love the old fisherman.
No,
You're saying he's not a main character?
no,
He's dead.
he's
Nightblood
not.
killed him. So we switched to Wayne's point of view. As he
Okay, Kelsier's dead. He was the main character.
Kelsier's
Wait, was it?
soul is alive.
He was the main character, though.
No, he wasn't. He's never been a main character. He's been a supporting main character.
That's still a main character.
No,
We
he's a
switched.
support.
We switched to Wayne's point of view as he fights two vanishers at once. He
Oh,
takes
did we, Midnight? Did we switch to his point of view?
Yeah, we did switch to Wayne's point of view.
Okay.
He takes one down with his dueling canes and drops his speed bubble to let the other die to his allies' bullets. Wayne approaches another vanisher, throwing up another speed bubble to take him out with his dueling cane. He has to eat his last bit of Bendalloy and notices that his gold metal mines are almost spent. Nearby, Tarson is around with Wayne's hat, but Wayne knows he can't fight him with his limited amount of stored gold. Wayne then notices Wax's bloodied form hurtling across the room. Instantly he begins running, throwing up speed bubbles to avoid bullets to get to Wax. As he's going, he gets shot in the arm, and he avoids another bullet as it comes into his speed bubble. He taps his metal mine, and it barely slows the bleeding, causing Wayne to have to bandage his arm. Wayne glances around to see the coin shot with Marassi's rifle, causing Wayne to worry where Marassi was. He wanted to help Wax, but he knew Wax would want him to help Marassi first, so he begins running towards the coin shot. So do you think Wayne made the right choice in going after Marassi instead of going after Wax?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, kind of, I guess, but still seemed like a dick move to me, at least.
Also, are you concerned about how low on Bendalloy and gold Wayne is?
Yes, because they said it in the book. Specifically, they specifically stated how low he is.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, this is my last bit of Bendalloy, and also I've now used up all of my gold healing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you concerned
Seems
for
like
Wayne, Darkness?
No.
No?
He can die for all I care.
Yeah. Wayne's gonna die. He's not a main character. Wayne's definitely
Damn. So Wax tries to get a small pistol from his ankle holster, but notices it was damaged in the explosion. He lays on his back and prays to Harmony, thinking that he had asked for a little help. Surprisingly, Harmony responds.
Yeah, and
So,
because I have the audiobook, I know 100% that it is Harmony because literally the voice is the same.
yep. He also says "I think," which is like a trademark of
Yep,
Sazed.
that too. But I still was like, it could be Spook talking to him, and yeah, no.
That was definitely Sazed. Also, Wax is like, "Wait, what? He's actually talking back to me,"
Yeah, well,
which I love.
Huh? Whoa.
Yeah. So Harmony responds that he had sent a little help for Wax. Wax asks for more help, and Harmony just replies that he needs to be careful playing favorites, as he needs to keep the balance and allow the most people to make their own choices. Harmony then asks Wax.
I have to be careful when I'm picking favorites, as I pick you to talk to.
Yep.
Mm.
Harmony then asks Wax if he thinks Allomancers are divine, as Miles claimed they are, but Wax doesn't think so. Wax then asks Harmony how he could see people like the Vanishers and not try to stop it, but Harmony replies he has tried to stop it by sending Wax.
Which is true.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, no, you're the help. You're.
I sent you.
He's like, me doing something is you going to do this. Like, there's
and
like,
me forcing you to
you're
do
the
it.
help.
Yeah, I'm forcing you to go do this. Now go do it. Come on.
The mist then surround Wax as they come down from the hole in the ceiling, and Wax feels better. He then notices that one of the boxes in front of him is the trunk that his butler had taken. Wax is able to put, and Wax had put his old guns in. Harmony just tells Wax that he's welcome. So yeah, what do you think about Harmony speaking directly to Wax?
It's about time.
What do you think, Darkness, about Sazed showing up, basically?
He can't pick favorites though, like, you know.
He's got to be careful while playing favorites.
Yeah, he didn't say he can't. He said he has to be careful as he picks favorites.
He's like, you are my favorite, Wax. You're my favorite child.
Yeah, I wish he would have just helped in Miles instead.
Also, what did you think about Harmony stating that Wax was him trying to stop Miles and the Vanishers? So like the fact that he's like, yeah, I know you're what I'm doing. This is me doing this. I'm sending you.
Yeah, I'm taking all the credit for this.
Wait, Harmony's doing Wax.
Oh my gosh.
She said it, so it must be true.
That's not what I meant, and you know it.
She said
I
it,
don't know anything
so
about
it must be true.
So we then switch to Marassi's point of view. She hides behind the train car. She had to discard her rifle as the coin shot had been able to track her because of the metal gun, which unfortunately left her unarmed. Marassi wants to help Wax as she had seen him bleeding, but she didn't have
Not
a gun.
really that unfortunate though.
She could also see some of the Vanishers guarding the entrance to the tunnel. She then sees Miles wander around, and he speaks to the Vanishers by the tunnel entrance, causing them to hurry down it. The coin shot then drops down next to Miles, mentioning that Pull is dead and that he's been chasing Wayne around the room. Miles replies that you can't chase Wax and Wayne, you need to draw them to you. He then points his gun directly at Marassi's hiding spot and asks her to call for Wax. Marassi is unable to speak though, frozen in fear as the gun points at her. However, her gaze shifts as she sees someone moving in the mist, and soon Wax is revealed, wearing his mist coat and holding guns that he shoots into Miles' side as he smiles. So what did you think about Marassi getting caught by Miles?
I mean, she's not that good, so.
I mean, she's pretty new to it, so. Also, this is the second time she gets caught.
Yeah.
Also, what do you think about Wax getting kind of like reinvigorated by the mists?
I mean, we know what it
Just
does.
like Vin.
Yeah.
Somebody's picking favorite.
So that was the end of our chapters. We now have our overview questions. Our first overview question is, do you think that Wax will be able to kill Miles? Or do you think Miles is going to
Not this
survive
book.
until the next book?
Not in this book.
No, he's not killing him.
How do you think they're going to get out of this situation then?
They leave.
Same way they get out of every situation.
Wayne is gonna pretend to be Miles's mother, and he's gonna be like, "What are you doing, Sonny?"
Oh my god,
should
I would
be
love to
ashamed
see
of
that, to be
yourself.
honest.
That would be hilarious.
It really would.
You think his mother's alive?
I have no idea.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why do you have no idea? I thought
Miles
you knew
doesn't think about his parents.
Oh, so he's an ungrateful son now. Great.
Apparently.
I mean, didn't we
He only
already know
cares
that?
about Trell. Trell is the only one that matters. Also, do you think they're going to be able to rescue any of the women this book, or do you think the women are going to be somewhere else and it's going to wait till another book?
I'm really annoyed that it's gonna be some other book.
Kind of agree. I think it's going to be another book.
Do you think we'll continue to hear more from Sazed in the coming books now that he has spoken directly to Wex?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And if we don't, I'm submitting another complaint.
Do you think we're gonna hear
Did you
from
submit the first one?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I emailed them.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I bet.
Do you think that like we're gonna hear about as much from Sazed? Like he's just gonna kind of like pop in every once in a while and say some stuff to Wax, or do you think he's gonna be a bit more involved as the books go on?
I mean, I want him to be more involved, but I doubt it.
What do you think, Darkness?
I
I
agree
pick
too.
favorites after all, you know.
He's gonna have to be more involved.
Also, what do you think is going to be resolved by the end of this book, and what is going to be left for the next book or next few books?
Absolutely nothing's gonna be resolved. Most likely the reasoning why it's happening, but I don't think anything's gonna be solved. It's just gonna be more information.
I agree. Yeah.
You think probably like a decent group of the Vanishers are maybe gonna like escape with Miles, and then they're still gonna be around next book?
Yeah, I definitely think Miles is gonna be around next book.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts or theories for the end of this book or for the coming books?
Your
I
face
think I
is
gave all my
everywhere.
theories.
All right. Well, next episode, we're obviously going to finish Alloy of Law. We're also going to read the Alamancer Jack short story from Arcanum Unbounded, which is going to finish off Arcanum Unbounded for us finally. It's the final short story we haven't read. So we're going to do, yeah, both the last 3 chapters of Alloy of Law, and then Alamancer Jack, and then we'll be doing also the trailer for Shadows of Self, which is the second book in Mistborn Era 2, which I always get the title of Shadows of Self confused with Forest for Silence and the Shadows for Silence and the Forest of Hell, and Shadows for Self are like, those 2 titles always confuse me so much. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that next episode. So thank you to our Patreons, who all 3 are still Patreons, which is so nice of them. Thank you so much to Hubris, Kaladin
Yes.
Dies in Book 3, and Kyle for being our patrons.
Thank you,
Like
thank
she was
you.
really hoping that Kaladin Dies in book 3 would have died already.
Nah, you
Uh,
guys already have that that little sentence from him, so I mean, it's not gonna change anything, or at least for your guys' perspectives.
What if it doesn't die in book 3? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, what if he
And I
doesn't die
guess
in Book 3?
then I guess he's gonna have to change the
Yeah,
name
just,
of
he
book
changes
3.
his name every book if Kaladin doesn't
Book
die.
4.
Book 5.
Oh goodness.
So that would be funny. I was like, oh, actually, Kaladin dies in Book 4. It was a typo. Oh no, Kaladin dies in Book 5.
Yeah.
Or changes to like someone else dies in Book 4.
Yeah, Yasna's totally dead, guys.
Yasna dies in Book 2.
Mhm.
But yeah, so thank you guys so much for.
If someone actually put that, that'd be so fucking funny.
Yes, Yasna dies in Book 2 as their name.
Yeah.
That would be great. We also, I think I've mentioned this before, but we have a free Patreon member whose name is just Telenalat. I love that.
Lin.
Telenalat
Yeah.
Love Telenalat.
I love how
How-
that the only person here who can say it is her.
Town is
You're
best.
the most good.
Town is best Herald.
Ain't
Anyways,
nah.
yeah. Thank you guys all so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.